Welcome back to another episode of Shop Talk. And on this episode today, we're going to take this ugly old truck LS intake and we're going to shave it down, clean it up, make it look pretty sweet. That's right, you heard me correctly. I'm going to take all of this ugliness off of this intake. Why? Because I don't want to spend any money on any more stuff for the Vette Kart. And this thing works perfectly good, actually makes decent power. It's just ugly, and I've got to do something about it. The first step is going to be getting rid of the throttle body and the rest of the sensors and stuff on there and hoses that we don't need to be on there anymore, and just completely smooth everything out. Get rid of all of these little extra tabs and brackets that don't really actually do anything. And then I'm going to go ahead and smooth everything out and clean it all up and give it a good coat of paint. And it should look pretty sweet. So I've hacked about as much off of it as I want to try to hack off of it. I've got a pretty good pile of crap over here that's off of it. Here's the idea. I'm going to take the parts and pieces that I have left and I'm going to put those in position here and cut those down to where they kind of fit into place and melt that all back together and get it back sealed up. Then I'll smooth it out a little bit more and go ahead and put a coat of fiberglass over the top of it and then a little bit of body filler and some primer and paint and we should be good to go. I'm not going to take any more off of this intake than what I've already taken off of it because I'm thinking that GM probably put these extra little ribs and stuff in here for some strength, and most of this is only somewhere around maybe a 1/16 or so of an inch off the top of the intake, and I think you can easily cover that up with today's body filler. I think most of them say that you can go up to a 1/4 inch safely without having any issues. And we're going to do fiberglass underneath the body filler, so it'll be fine. I'm using this. I don't know if it's actually a plastic welder or what it is, to be honest with you. I bought it at a garage sale, I think for like $5, and was trying to groove some tires with it, but didn't work very well for that. But then I found out soon after that it was really good for doing this sort of plastic welding. So basically all this really is just melting some pieces of plastic back in here. It's not really welding per se. So there's plenty of pieces of this stuff that we cut off the top that's left over that we can just kind of shape and then kind of form and try to get it all filled in as best you can with as big a chunk as possible, and then go back and melt in whatever you can from there. Everything is all ground off and cut off, and then now has been plastic welded back in, so there's no more holes anywhere in the intake that we don't need to be there. I'm going to take this purge valve and I'm going to try just cutting it off. There's plenty of room there to hide a cut off piece down in this valley, so I'm going to try just to cut it off and see if I can get it put back in there and sealed up. And if so, then I'll probably just fiberglass right over the top of all of that and just completely smooth everything up on the intake. Well, it seems like that probably worked. I got cut pretty much part of the way through there and then it just fell off. So I don't know, never cut one of these apart before or what it really looked like on the inside, but doesn't matter at this point. We don't need that crap over there now. So I think this O-ring and this rubber seal on here and stuff looks like it's pretty decent, so I don't see why it wouldn't just seal right back up. The center of it still has a little bit of a hole there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. What I'm going to do is just take my little tool there that heats up and try to make it to where I can just melt that hole back shut and just blend that all back in. Alright, so there you have it. I've got the purge valve cut off and that hole plugged in. I've got these fittings back in there so that we can be able to screw on our bracket for our throttle cable. All of the holes are filled in and smoothed out. I think this thing's ready for a bath and to start getting some coats of fiberglass on it and smoothed out with some body filler. So I'm going to save you guys all of the back and forth sanding and filling and all that kind of stuff you got to do some body work. I know you guys have seen that kind of stuff, you know, over and over again, lots of other places. Okay, before we do this side-by-side reveal of what the intake looks like now versus the stock one, I did have one more problem that I wanted to talk to you about. Most of you aren't going to have this problem, but it could be something to think about, you know, because some cars are different than others. But what I was doing is I was sitting the intake down on the car to do the final test fit and see kind of exactly where I was going to put like the vacuum ports that I needed to put on there and the map sensor I was going to try to all locate on the back of the intake. Well, as soon as I dropped the intake down on there, the top of the intake was actually hitting the bar that I ended up putting across the firewall there. And I ended up having to cut that whole corner off and notch it all out and then weld everything back in and smooth it all out. It ended up costing me like another hour and a half. Here it is. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. I don't know if it was worth all the time and trouble, but it's definitely unique and something that most people aren't going to have. And way, way, way cleaner than what it was originally. All the stuff on the top there and everything just looked terrible. But I'm pretty excited about the way it looks. It's pretty clean now, and I think it kind of almost even looks like it's maybe made out of aluminum or something if guy didn't know any better and was looking from 20 feet away or so. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. And here's what it looks like in the car. Like I said, it does kind of actually look like it's maybe aluminum or something. And the fact that it sticks up way higher than the LS1 style intake kind of adds some more character to it and maybe makes it look like it's a little cooler than it is. I don't know. Comment below and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you got to say about it. Did I choose the right color and all that kind of stuff? Is anybody else thinking about doing this? Or have any of the rest of you watching done this before? For now, that's all I'm going to end up having. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please like the video and subscribe to the page and hit that little bell so that you can get the notifications of when the next video comes out. And I'll see you on the next video.